Yup, that's me. Getting ready moments before I glue myself for hours to my PC. So, how did I end up like this? Well, I made a stupid deal with my intrusive thoughts and now I'm trapped in the brutal world of Azeroth. The deal is pretty simple. I can't turn off my computer until I reach max level in WoW Classic. It's been 14 days since, and throughout my journey, I've been sent to the graveyard dozens of times. Despite being promised by my good friend Cass it won't be that bad. Lost the roll on my best dagger, and had an epic duel with a warrior over a dead NPC. Between the ups and downs though, this challenge has actually been a blessing. If you want to follow the series from the start, feel free to check out the first 2 episodes on my channel. Anyway, getting down to business, here's the plan for this episode. Go from level 30 to 40. Today, we continue Zaffaroni's adventure braving the clanky, smoke-polluted halls of a Gnomregon dungeon. If you remember last episode, I dinged level 30 and you know what's the best part about it as a combat rogue? I finally unlocked Blade Fury. Oh, I mean Blade Flurry. This ability not only increases my attack speed, but it also makes me hit one additional target whenever it's active. Basically, it's a one-way ticket to the top of the damage meters. And as a sucker for big numbers, I feel like it's gonna be my best friend. With my newfound ultimate skill and of course, Giga Chad teammates, we breeze through the dungeon, melting down this radioactive behemoth called Viscous Fallout, short-circuiting Electrocutioner 6000, dismantling Crowd Pummeler before it knocks us into oblivion, and surviving the infamous Tunnel of Death that has claimed hundreds of lives in classic hardcore. I guess the only hiccup we encountered was when our tank overpulled here as if he's farming some TikTok clips. With Dark Iron Dwarves dropping bombs like it's World War III and these nullifiers reflecting magic spells, our healer had no choice but use her trump card. There's definitely a lesson here. What's it called again? Ah, right. Always have something up your sleeve. Thankfully, the last boss isn't too much of a problem. I loot the quest item and finally get my hands on a solid piece of gear, the Trip Runner Dungarees. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the quest turn-in, but I'll tell you what, this plus 18 agility is gonna take me all the way to 60, I promise you that. Since I'm close to leveling up, I decide to find a group for Scarlet Monastery, a dungeon filled to the brim with devout followers of the Scarlet Crusade. It's divided into 4 wings: Graveyard, Library, Armory, and Cathedral. Right now, I'm on my way to the Graveyard, a relatively short and easy instance. First, we slay Interrogator Vicious, who's probably in the middle of doing some unspeakable things to this poor soul here. We reach the cemetery filled with hunting phantasms and unfettered spirits, you know, just fancy ways to say ghosts. Upon the demise of this lone dark specter, I hit level 31. We waste no time in putting Ghost Rider, Blood Mage Thalnos in his place, then had a little fun wrapping up the run smoking the other rogue in a 200-yard race. After back-to-back dungeons, I need a breather. And what's a better way to unwind than exploring the open world and knocking down a couple of quests? So I head southeast towards the snow-covered peaks of Alterac Mountains, give this wolf a sweet gentle poke, and swim towards the shore till I reach this humble cabin where Grandpa Vicious, father of the interrogator from earlier, resides. Nuh-uh, I'm not here to disturb the old man from retirement. I'm not cruel like that. I just need to have a quick chat with Nancy, the interrogator's wife. As to why daddy and daughter-in-law are living under the same roof out here in a secluded area in the mountains, you tell me. I'm just here to finish my quest. Ah, look at this otherworldly view. What a perfect sunset to think of happy memories and get lost in this breathtaking digital world. Oh, here comes Nancy. Let's say hi. Despite being an elite, She doesn't have any special abilities, so I quickly finish her off and go on my merry way. I'll just pretend I did not witness a single frame of whatever shady business is going on here, man.
What?
Oh my gosh, sheesh! That scared the heck out of me! I would have been saying hello to the spirit healer if I was playing another class. For this quest, I need to kill these cave yetis until one of them drops an item called the Herculear's Rod. Corpses begin piling up, and before I realize, I've already hit level 32. After an hour of mindless grinding through yeti after yeti, the rod finally shows itself. Hooray! And thanks to that abysmal drop rate, I've accumulated so much XP slaying those mobs that by the time I turn in the quest, I've already leveled up to 33. Honestly, I can't wait to move on from Hillsbrad. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful zone, but the constant fear of never knowing when a random gank might happen can be a little bit exhausting. I mean, I love being in a PvP server and all, but sometimes a guy just wants to quest in peace, you know? So much for ranting, I've still got a lot of work to do. So I hunt down Dalaran guards who, by the way, will reflect any incoming damage whenever they glow red. Slay some renegade undead to collect their bloodstones, kill this dwarf warrior who curses me in a language I'll never understand, sneak into a grave in South Shore to turn in Herculear's revenge while almost losing my life in the process. And with that, my Hillsbrad chapter finally comes to an end. With aching legs, I make my way to Arathi Highlands where dinosaurs, giant spiders, and violent elementals roam the thick, untamed grasslands. I dinged level 34 while casually butchering a couple of raptors along the way. The journey might have been stupidly long, but the jaw-dropping scenery definitely makes up for it. I barely even noticed that the dirt road has already led me to the gates of Hammerfall. But I don't have any business in the Spike Fortress. Not yet, at least. I'm just here to grab the flight path for when I eventually head to the Badlands later. With that out of the way, I travel to Camp Gromgold to continue the grind in the blood-soaked jungle of Stranglethorn Vale. Just as I'm carving my way through mobs and proudly digging level 36, I come across an interesting scene. A pair of rogues and an alliance warrior having a full-blown conversation in some weird code. Upon further investigation, the three of them are actually friends. You see, WoW Classic has this neat little feature where your chat appears as gibberish to the opposite faction. Apparently, they're using a translator add-on called Hermes, yeah, whatever, to communicate. One of the rogues named Stone turns to me and says, "You, duel the warrior." Now, when a shady assassin tells you to duel somebody, you don't ask questions, you don't negotiate, you don't run, you do it. I can't risk looking like a coward in front of my brethren. So I go into stealth mode. Slowly, I open up with a quick cheap shot to start off strong. A couple of auto attacks here and there, then boom! A lucky repost procs allows me to disarm him. He's not backing down though. He intercepts me coming in hot. I counter with a 4-second kidney shot to buy myself a breather. Needless to say, I'm already on the brink of death. I throw some blind powder at him to give myself a window to recover, but it's no use. He charges in with one final push and before I can react, I'm done. Dead. Just like that. After the duel, Stone gives me a full masterclass breakdown of my every move, what I did wrong, and how I should have played it. As a clueless newbie on a PvP server, it feels kind of amazing to learn from a master. By the time his lecture is over, I'm already itching for round 2. Alright, here we go. I kick things off with my usual opener. Deep shot into kidney, but this time, I'm not stopping there. I hit him with a gouge to extend the stun lock. Instead of getting greedy and trade blows with him, I vanish back into stealth to calculate my next move. He tries to use Demo Shout in hopes of breaking my invisibility, but I've already learned my lesson, so I keep my distance. Then bam! I open up again to a repose proc to disarm him. I follow it up with evasion because I'm not taking any chances this time. I go for a 4-second kidney shot, but this guy is no rookie. He snaps out of it with a PvP trinket, throws a net at me, but I see it coming from miles away and blind him just in time. Vanishing back into the shadows, I sap him and take a quick bite of food. Honestly, this is looking like a done deal now. I re-execute my opener with perfect timing. The warrior's already on the ropes. He tries to chug a potion in a desperate effort, but we both know the outcome. With one final push, he charges at me, so I vanish and strike when the time is right. It's over. I win! I can still feel my heart pounding on my rib cage. With Stone cheering and giving me a reassuring pat, I couldn't have been more proud of myself. What a match! I thanked Stone for his teachings and went on my way to continue my quest. It had been a nice change of pace from all the mindless grinding I had been doing. Questing's fun and all, but let's be real. I'm playing an MMORPG here. Multiplayer is in the name for a reason. I want to interact with more people. Luckily, I easily find a group for the next wing of Scarlet Monastery, the library. Our mage proves to be an absolute monster, blasting through the pools with his arcane explosion. Honestly, I might roll a mage for my next series just to feel that kind of power. The first boss, Houndmaster, isn't exactly tough. I pop my cooldowns right off the rip, and would you look at that? Blade Flurry goes brrrr, baby! Despite the mage's attempt to spam explosion after explosion, I've already smoked him on the damage chart. And that warms my fragile, egotistical DPS heart. Haha. We power along as I baptize mob after mob with a devastating combination of poisons and flaming blades. Woo! I'm now level 37. The final boss, Arcanist Doan, isn't too bad. Except for that moment when he goes kamikaze, forcing us to sprint to the other room to avoid the blast.
This is Sparta!
Since I'm already around the neighborhood, I figured, why not just swing by the armory and cathedral too? So I find another group and we hit up the armory first. As expected, the place is packed with mobs armed to the teeth, but with a shaman in the mix dropping Wind Fury totems, we tear through the enemies like they're made of butter. Then we open the door to the final room. Hero just stands there menacingly, looking like he belongs in a raid tier, not a mid-level dungeon. Seriously? I can smell his axe body spray from here. Fully geared with a massive axe clutched in his hand, I bet you could fool a new player into thinking he's the final boss in the game. Luckily, he only has one move to watch out for: Whirlwind. Just step out of the way and you'll be golden. Unless you're me, of course. Someone who thinks face tanking the spin is a good idea. I drop dead right before he dies. Embarrassing. Next up, Cathedral. Nothing too crazy here except for one catch. We have to clear the entire church first or risk every mob inside pulling together with the boss. Not fun. The fight starts with Morgaine, a proud knight who's basically Whitemane's #1 fanboy. We drop him pretty quickly and then Inquisitor Whitemane shows up. Just when she's on the brink of defeat, she puts us to sleep and brings her loyal lapdog Morgaine back to life.
Arise.
That's right, this guy dies, sees the light, and still chooses to simp from beyond the grave. Yup. At the very least, the two of them die in each other's arms. And that's a wrap. I finally clear all 4 wings of the Scarlet Monastery. This group is honestly great. Everyone knows their role and we finish without much drama. I pray all my future encounters are the same. But of course, there's no time to dilly-dally. I'm so close to reaching level 40. I heart out to Gromgol camp and go straight to work. By work, I mean dispatching a couple of Alliance players, starting with his paladin who seals his own fate by pulling a couple of raptors while I'm giving him a beating. Then there's this jerk of a rogue whom I catch red-handed corpse camping a Tauren druid. Of course, I can't let that atrocity slide. I swiftly put him in his place so he learns the hard way not to mess with the horde. And if you think all I do is bully people here in Stranglethorn Vale, think again. I've got a soft spot too. You know, like when I helped this random warrior take down Banglash, the tiger elite. I wasn't even on the quest. I just felt like doing a good deed. It feels good to be a good guy sometimes. I sliced down mob after mob until I finally reached level 39. Hooray! Just one more level and I can finally buy a mount. I can almost hear the hooves of my skeletal steed galloping. And what's a better way to celebrate the final stretch to level 40 than diving headfirst into a fresh dungeon? I leap into the Zeppelin bound for Orgrimmar, but barely. I'm literally clinging to the side like some stowaway. But hey, a ride's a ride. Unfortunately, the cabin crews discover my secret spot and dumps me in the middle of the ocean just when we enter Durotar. Fantastic. Now I'm wet and behind schedule. Well. Look who's back in the Barrens. I find a group and make my way to the Razorfen Downs dungeon. It feels like a lifetime ago. Well, more like 10 levels ago actually, when I last wandered these parts on my way to Razorfen Crawl. The run begins and I could already tell our warrior is a huge fan of Herod. We reach this room where packs of spider would spawn whenever someone hits the gong. After the third gong, out crawls Big Mama Spider. It unleashes a nasty curse on us which our mage quickly negates and we hack it down with no problem. It drops a solid piece of plate armor that lights up the eyes of our warrior. Congratulations, man. Next is Mordresh, a skeletal mage surrounded by an army of mini skellies. I let our mages do their thing and I dash straight for the boss. He drops a necklace that our casters couldn't wait to get their hands on. Not that I care actually. Now, this next boss, a glowing green behemoth who's ironically named Gluton, is the one I've been waiting for. You wanna ask why? Because he can drop the flesh hide's shoulders, which would be very huge for me. Unfortunately, the RNG gods has other plans today, but hey, can't win them all, you know? Finally, it's time. The moment we've all been waiting for. The final boss, Amnenar the Coldbringer. Come on, tell me that doesn't sound like the title to a death metal album. He wasn't all that impressive, at least at first, but then bam! He summons these ice spirits that are immune to frost, which kinda rendered our two mages a bit useless. Things get chaotic fast, but thankfully, Dash Flex busts out his patented spin it to win it technique, and he starts blendering the enemies into snowflakes. And just like that, Amnenar the Coldbringer melts faster than a popsicle in Tenaris. It's already too late when I realize that our mage's portal leads to Orgrimmar. Damn it! Now I have to take public transport back to Undercity. But it doesn't matter. This is it. The moment of truth. Turning in this quest will take me to level 40. Here we go. Yeah! Level 40, baby! Technically, I'm now halfway to 60 and to top it off, I get the Vanquisher Sword as a bonus too. Whoa! From the depths of Gnomrigon to the blood-soaked jungles of STV, from dueling sweaty warriors to getting punted off a zeppelin, I've clawed my way to this moment. But the road ahead? Oh, it's only going to get more action-packed from here. More dungeons, more PvP, more chances of me doing something incredibly dumb for your entertainment. There's still 20 more levels to go before I finally put my PC to rest. So if you've enjoyed this adventure so far, please smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the next chapter of this completely unnecessary yet oddly beautiful journey. And remember, stay hydrated and I'll see you adventurers on the next one. Zafri out.